7.3 Transcaucasia, Georgia, Armenia, and Azerbaijan. Transcaucasia. The independent countries of Georgia, Armenia, and Azerbaijan make up the region of Transcaucasia. Although they are independent countries, they're included in this chapter because they have more ties to Russia than to the region of the Southwest Asia to their south. They have been inextricably connected to Russia ever since they were annexed by the Russian Empire in the late 18th and early 19th centuries, and they were all former republics within the Soviet Union. When the Soviet Union collapsed in 1991, these three small republics declared independence and separated from the rest of what became Russia. Geographically, these three countries are located on the border between the European and Asian continents. The Caucasus Mountain Range is considered the dividing line. The region known as Transcaucasia is generally designated as the southern portion of the Caucasus Mountain area. The country of Georgia has a long history of ancient kingdoms and a golden age including invasions by the Mongols, Ottomans, Persians, and Russians. For a brief 3 years, from 1918 to 1921, Georgia was independent. After fighting an unsuccessful war to remain free after the Russian Revolution, Georgia was absorbed into the Soviet Union. Since its declaration of independence in 1991, the country has struggled to gain a stable footing within the world community. Unrest in the regions of southern Ossetia, Abaxia, and Adjara, I apologize for mispronouncing all of those, has destabilized the country, making it more difficult to engage in the global economy. Russia and Georgia had a military contract in 2008 when Russian troops entered the South Ossetian region to support its move toward independence from Georgia. Georgia considered the South Ossetia to be part of Georgia and called the Russians for occupying force. Many other countries, including the United States, condemned Russia for their action. Russian troops pulled out of Georgia, but supported the independence of South Ossetia and Georgia's westernmost region of Abkhazia. Neither South Ossetia nor Abkhazia are considered independent states by most of the world's countries. A democratic style of government has emerged in Georgia, and economic support has been provided by international aid and foreign investments. The country has made the switch from the old Soviet command economy to a free market economy. Agricultural products and tourism have been in Georgia's main economic activities. In 2010, Armenia to the south of Georgia had a population of only about 3 million in a physical area smaller in size than the United States state of Maryland. It is a country with its own distinctive alphabet and language. Armenia was the first country in the world to adopt Christianity as a state religion, an event traditionally dated to 301 CE. According to tradition, the Armenian Church was founded by two of Jesus' 12 apostles, Thaddeus and Bartholomew, who preached Christianity in Armenia between 40 and 60 AD. Because of these two founding apostles, the official name of the Armenian Church is the Armenian Apostolic Church. The Armenian Apostolic Church remains the country's central religious institute, and the Old City of Jerusalem in Israel has an Armenian quarter, an indication of Armenia's early connection with Christianity. The small landlocked country has experienced invasions from every empire that controlled the region throughout history. The geographic area of the country decreased when the Ottoman Empire took control of western Armenia, and that region remains a part of Turkey to this day. A bitter conflict between Turks and Armenians during World War I resulted in the systematic deaths of as many as 1 million Armenians. This genocide continues to be commemorated annually on April 24th, the traditional date of the Armenian Martyrs' Day. But Turkey still denies that the events were a genocide. Like the other former Soviet republics, Armenia has shifted from a centrally planned economy to a market economy. Before independence in 1991, Armenia's economy had a manufacturing sector that provided other Soviet republics with the industrial goods in exchange for raw materials and energy. Since then, its manufacturing sector has declined, and Armenia has fallen back on agriculture and financial remittances from the approximately 8 million Armenians living abroad to support its economy. These remittances, along with international aid and direct foreign investments, have helped to stabilize Armenia's economic situation. Azerbaijan is an independent country to the east of Armenia, bordering the Caspian Sea. It is about the same size in the area, it is about the same size in area as the United States state of Maine. The former Soviet Republic has a population of more than 8 million, in which more than 90% follow Islam. Azerbaijan shares a border with the northern province of Iran, which is also called Azerbaijan. Part of Azerbaijan is located on the western side of Armenia and is separated from the rest of the country. Located on the shores of the Caspian Sea, Baku is the capital of Azerbaijan and is the capital city of the region. With a population approaching 2 million, during the Cold War, it was one of the top 5 largest cities in the Soviet Union. The long history of this vibrant city and the infusion of oil revenues have given rise to a metropolitan center of activity that has attracted global interest. Wealth has not been evenly distributed in the country, and at least 1/4 of the population still lives below the poverty line. Azerbaijan is rich with oil reserves. Petroleum was discovered here in the 18th century, and hand-dug wells produced oil as early as the 15th century. Since the Industrial Revolution, the rising value of petroleum for energy increased the industrial extraction of oil in Azerbaijan. At the end of the 19th century, this small country produced half the oil in the world. Oil and natural gas are the country's main export products and have been a central focus of its economy. Large oil reserves are located beneath the Caspian Sea, and offshore wells with pipelines to shore have expanded throughout the Caspian Basin. As much as the export of oil and natural gas has been an economic support for the country, it has not been without costs to the environment. According to U.S. government sources, local scientists consider parts of Azerbaijan to be some of the most devastated environmental areas in the world. Serious air, soil, and water pollution exist due to uncontrolled oil spills and the heavy use of chemicals in the agricultural sector. Key takeaways. The vast majority of Russia's population live in the western core area of the country, the region around the capital city of Moscow. Most of the cities on the Barents Sea and in the eastern frontier were established for manufacturing or for the exploitation of raw materials. The Volga River and its tributaries have been an important transportation network for centuries. The Volga is the largest river in Europe. Very few people live in Siberia, but the region is rich with natural resources. The most contentious region in Russia is the Caucasus Mountain region, especially the area of Chechnya. The Caucasus is characterized by ethnic and religious diversity and by a desire for independence from Russia. South of Russia, in the Caucasus, is the region of Transcaucasia. It is ethnically, religiously, and linguistically diverse. Countries there are independent of Russia, although they have a long history of being part of the Russian and Soviet empires. Some of the countries are rich in petroleum reserves.